Hello, welcome to this video. My name is Dave Adams. In today's video, we want to show love to our mothers, special women around us. So we're going to build a simple website. It won't break the bank, but there's a very thoughtful idea. It will surprise them. They'll be happy. So I'm going to show you how to do that with HTML and CSS. Let's get right into this video. So this is how we want the site to look like. This is something I designed using Adobe XD. Very simple. We have the hero section with some large text and smaller text underneath that complements the larger text, obviously. And there's a button that should scroll down to this section down here. On the right side of the hero section, we have a beautiful black woman on the side. So that's just the hero section right there. And this is where we state the reasons why we appreciate and love our mothers. So finally, we have the footer at the bottom, created with love by you, me, whoever follows this tutorial. So let's get right into Visual Studio Code. You can see that I have my project set up. So I have the mothers project, the mothers folder with my HTML, CSS, and my SVG, which is actually this image of the black woman right here. Okay, so to create these files, you use this icon in Visual Studio Code, new file, click, you create your file and all that. You should know that by now if you've been following my channel. Okay, so the first step is to create a simple template by using the exclamation shortcut. You hit enter, you click on it, and you'll be good to go. Now you change the title. This is the name that goes into the tab. So you can use your mother's name, or you can just say Mother's Day. So I'll just go with my mother's name, which is Olivia. So checking in the browser. Wait, let me reload this page. Good. Checking in the browser, you should find Olivia here. That's the name of the tab. So we're good to go. Okay. Now, going straight into our body. No. So you can see we have the CSS file. We have to link that, obviously. So I'll use the link element. Link. When you use this one with the colon and the CSS, because the conventional name of CSS files should be style.css, it automatically does that for you, and it links your CSS file. Okay. So now we want to break it into sections. We want to do the hero, the reasons section, and then the footer. Okay, so we're going to use the section elements, and we're going to use the various IDs to describe the sections that we just spelled out. Okay, so I have my hero section. Okay, now within the hero section, I want to have a container, which I'll define in my CSS file. Okay, now within the container, I want to have a row, a div with a class of row, and I want to have two columns. So call with a shortcut of asterisk with a 2. So it'll create two divs with that. Okay, so now we want to go and style these elements. So hero, container, row, call. So we're going to go into our CSS. But first off, let me do this general styling. Okay. So I want to override the browser's default values for everything. I want to say until I specify. So for everything, make the margin 0 and the padding 0 as well. Okay, good. Now that we have that out of the way, I want to also go straight to my hero. So that div with the ID of hero, which was actually section. It was a section element. What do we want to do? We want the background color to be this blue color right here. That'll be the background, this blue color. I just had to copy the code quickly. And then also I want the height to be 100% of the viewport height. The viewport is basically your screen, your device. So I want the hero to fill up your whole screen. Yeah. So now that I have that, the next thing I want to style is the container. So the concept of containers is to format your documents very well, to keep everything within the bounds, even on very large screens. You don't want your viewers to, or the customers or the consumers of your website, to scan from end to end. You want them to have the content in the middle because the screen may be large. So that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to specify the width normally as maybe 90%. But we're saying when the screen becomes extremely large, so we're going to use max width. We're going to say 1536. So basically what this means is use 90% of the parent. Okay. Now, when this 90% becomes more than this value, default to this value. So now the container will become this value. Let's say 90% of 1920 is larger than this. It will default to 1536 as the value. Finally, we want to use margin left auto and margin right auto. So this will center everything for us. Okay, margin right auto. Okay, so now we have the container in the center, and we should have our row as well. So for the row, we want to say display flex. Okay, good. Now for the columns, I want to say call text. So your classes should be descriptive so that anyone who picks up your code would be able to read and understand what is there. And then a call for the image. Okay, good. So I'm quickly going to comment as I should have done. So I'm going to say hero section, just to segregate the sections, you know. Okay, good. So we have these call text and call image. Okay, good. So call text, there should have been a period right before. So the period is for classes, as the pound sign or the hash is for IDs. And when you hover over the selector, you should see a tooltip showing what exactly the element is. So we're seeing a random element with an ID of hero. Okay, so any elements with this ID, these styles will affect, and any elements with this class called text, these styles that we're about to define will affect. Okay, so for the call text, we have a few things there, right? So for now, we'll leave it blank, and then for the call image, we also have a few things there. Looking at everything, I'll say the ratio of the text to the image is about 70%. So we are dividing this hero section into two sides, okay? But looking at it, it looks like 70% is filled with the text, and 30% or 20% has this image, okay? So that's exactly what we want to do here. We want the width, I'll say 70%, just by looking at it. Width to be 70%, and we want it to be 30% for the image. Okay, good. So now that is out of the way, yeah, for the image side, we want to place an image. Okay, and then we want the source to be mama.svg, and we need to specify, we need to define the alternative text. So this is for like people who are visually impaired and stuff. We want them to be able to like have screen readers that describe everything to them. So yeah, that's why we have the alternate text. Also, when the image doesn't display, this is what displays to whoever is viewing. Okay, so we want to say beautiful black woman. So for this side, you can place any image you want. If you want it to be an image of your mom or a special woman, I can say edit this image. Okay, so for whoever picks it up, you can edit this image. Okay, and so let's go into the browser, see what we're looking at now. Okay, so this is what we have so far. Okay, now what do I want to do? Okay, I want to go back into my CSS. I'm going to copy this. Okay, I'll paste it here, and now what I'm going to say is ing. Okay, so I want this to have 100%. So So basically we specify that we want the column that contains the image to be 30% here. Okay, but here we're saying the image within, we are targeting the image within that column, the core image, right? And we are saying that let the width be 100%. So what this means is we want you to fill up the whole 30%. Okay, so quickly I'm going to inspect. So this is core image. Okay, and you can see that it's highlighted in the browser with some borders. Okay, now open the image over on the image, and you can see it fills up the core image. It's like the same size. Yeah, so that's what width 100% does. It tells everything to like fill up the appearance. Yeah, so that's what it is. Okay, so now that we have that as well, I quickly want to go into my browser. Okay, so this is Google Fonts. Okay, so when you hit Google Fonts, you search for the fonts that you want. Okay, so I have Railway, which is right here. I've added it here, and then I've added Montserrat as well. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is to go to Get Embed Code. Okay, now there are two ways. Either you use the link or import. Now everything I'm talking about, I have videos on, so I'll just link them in the description so you can go in depth if you want to learn more about these things. So two ways: link goes into the HTML, at import goes into the CSS file. Okay, so I'm going with the CSS one. I'll just copy the code. Okay, so this imports both the Montserrat and the Railway fonts, as we'll be using them in this project. So style.css, I'm going to go back to general styling. I'll paste it here. I'll take away these style tags because that's for HTML. In fact, let me put this on top of everything. Okay, good. It should be part of the general styling. Okay, good. So now that we have that, we're going to come back, and when we need the Montserrat, we'll come and copy these codes, and then we'll be able to use them as in how we like. Yeah, so now let's edit this side of the whole thing. So what text do we have here? It says Happy Mother's Day. I have another one that says my favorite girl. Yeah, whichever special text you want to like catch their attention or something. So let's go with Happy Mother's Day. Okay. Okay, good, with an exclamation. So let's see what that looks like. Wow, this is H1. It looks really tiny, I won't lie. Good. So now we're going to go into our CSS. Okay, we're going to copy this. Okay, paste it down here. Say H1. So the H1 within core text is what we are targeting now, and we want the font size to be very big. Okay, so font size should be let me quickly check for reference. 103. Wow. So 103 px. I'm just checking the values in my Adobe XD. Good. So yeah, there you go. What I want to do here, just to keep the styling consistent, is to insert a BR tag here, and this should wrap the Mother's Day side to the next line. It should be something like this. Okay, now I want to say for core text, I want it to justify, because we applied flex. Oh, core text doesn't have flex. Okay, so flex, display flex, flex direction should be column. So by default, the flex direction is a row. That's why when we specified here, we then add the flex direction. I have a video on just flex. In fact, I have like 2 videos on flex. So if you want to really learn about flex, it helps out with like complex layouts. So you should really get into it. Okay, so back to what I was saying. flex direction is column. Okay. And then finally, I want to justify content center. So that should center vertically because it's a column. Good. And now that matches with the height of this. Let me see. Good. Good. So this is the core text. Okay. And then with core text, it's in the center, as you can see. Good. So that's what I wanted. And maybe align item center. Align items center. So it's a bit close to the image. Okay. So it has space in between. And I think that's just about it. Finally, for the row, in this scenario, I'll add another class. Okay. So I'll say hero row because there's something I want to apply to only this class. I think I'll make use of row again. Okay. So my period, hero row, my braces, and what I want to apply is a align item center. So this, wait. Oh, okay. Hero container. Let me see. Hero. Okay. Okay. Good. Okay. Let me quickly do container. See how it is. Okay. Good. So container should fill up the height of its parents. So 100%. I'll carry that over to row as well. And then yeah, good. So good. So now we have everything in the center as I wanted. So what I want to do is to change this font. Okay. So now I'm going back to the browser to Google font as I said, and I'm going to copy this. I'm just going to copy the font family, okay? Because now that's what I need. And I'm going to place it here as well, so everything looks nice. So going back, you can see that the font changed. Okay, good. So now the next thing we want to have is the font color. Okay, so if you check, it's kind of purple. Yeah, so we want to do that as well. So the color code for that is kindly bear with me. Good. So this is the color code. So I'll say color. For font color, you just do color and then the color code. So if you want to change the color, right, all you have to do is hover over this color box, then you move the cursor up, and then you can change the color to be whatever you want it to be, green, yellow. You just move the slider. This is for how transparent you want the color to be. If you want it to be solid, it has to be at the top, and then you can move the colors around. Okay, so as in, you can see the final depiction of the color right here. Okay, so this completely transparent, no color, and as you slide, yeah, that's basically it. So I'll just undo. Okay, good. So this is the color, and yeah, we have that color right here. Okay, I think also the font weight should be bold. Font weight should be 800. Okay, good. And we are good to go. The next thing we have to do is to talk about is to do this text underneath. So I'm going to use an H3. Okay, in our HTML file, H3. The text is, let me tell you all the reasons. Let me tell you all the reasons why you're the best girl in the world. Okay, so we want to add a little fun to it. Yeah, good. So know what it is. What I'm going to do, core text. we did justify content center. I'm going to get rid of that because I want this. Wow. Oh yeah, sorry, it's a column now, so this rather should go. Okay, good. What I'm going to use is padding. So for core text, I'm going to place some padding on the left side, maybe 100 px padding should be on the left side. And yeah, I think it's fine. Okay, now for this text we want to use railway. Okay, so back into Google Fonts, I want to copy this line, which is font family railway sans serif blah blah blah. Yeah, so I'll paste it here for a very short while. Copy this, change this to H3. Now I can get this. I'll cut it this time. I'll replace what is here, and then as you can see, this has a green color, so I'm going to get that color code, and I have it right here. So this is going to change as well. So basically we just copy and then we edit as we go on. We don't want to type everything from scratch all the time because it's not really necessary. And maybe get rid of this font weight because, and then finally we get the font size, which is 28 currently. So 28px, good. Sorry, going into the browser. Yeah, so there you go. So looking at the image, there's a bit of spacing, so we're going to use margin, a bit of margin, just to get things looking good. So margin top, yeah, let's say it should be 40px. Okay, maybe 40 is too much, so I'll do 30 for now. Good. So let me tell you all the reasons why you're the best girl in the world. But we want it to have a bit of padding on the right, so it wraps to the next line. So padding on the right, maybe 50px. Okay, so it doesn't go beyond this. So definitely need more. 100px. Okay, what happened? For padding right, good. Still need a bit more, so I'll do 120 finally and I'll be good to go. So sometimes you have to, there's a bit of back and forth, bear with me. Yeah, so there we go. You know what, I'll make this 150. I keep undersizing. Damn. Okay, that's fine. Finally, we want to create our button. Okay, so our button, yeah, our button says find out why. Okay, that is our button. So we're going to go to core text. We're going to create another one, say core text and space button. So we are targeting the button within core text. So this time we are calling an element, so there's no symbol like classes for classes and IDs, because with elements you just need the element's name. So I'm going to clear this for now. So I want to have border radius. Sorry, border radius. Okay, I want it to be 8px for starters. On the background, it has to be the same purple color as the large text. So I'm going to copy this. Good. I'm going to paste it here, and let's see how it's going so far. Good. Good. I want the width to be maybe 200px. Okay, That's fine. And okay, here I think it was like 250, 254. So I'll just do 250. And for the padding, I want the top to be like let's say 20 px. Okay, so top and bottom should be 20 px. The right and left should be 0. So this is our button. I think it's too large. So 12 should be fine, I guess. Okay, so I'll do 15. I'll settle in between 12 and 20. And this is fine. So for my text in the button, the font size should be 24. Font size 24 px. Okay, so the button is looking like what we want it to look like right here, but finally we want the text to be color should be white. White is very simple. It's just 3 Fs. It's actually supposed to be 6 Fs, but you can use 3 and you'll be fine. And then finally I want to copy this, so the font family should be Railway as well. Good. Border, maybe I don't want a border, so 0. And then probably I'll copy this margin top right here, apply it to the button so there's some spacing, you know. Good. Yeah, I think that is good. So if you're comparing, this is our reference image and this is what we've done so far. Okay, finally on our button we want to wrap it. We want to wrap an A tag around the button. Okay, so we're going to put a pound sign here and we're going to say reasons. Okay, so all this, wow. Good. So what this will do is when we click on it, it's going to scroll down to the reasons section. That's the next thing we're going to do. Okay, good. So we have this section done basically. Next thing we're doing is this section, okay, which should be fairly simple. So I'm going to go back. I can minimize this section now. So I'll create another section. I'll call it reasons. Reasons. So this is just a shortcut to create that for me. Obviously, I'm going to place my container as well. Okay. And this also has a row. So I'll create a row. We've already defined for row. So I want to say cards. Okay. And then I'll create another class for the same element, so card 1. So mostly with things that are identical, like such as cards, what you want to do is just create the first one and then you can duplicate to and then edit as you're going on. Okay, so for the row within our container, okay, what I want to do is to place an H3 on H2. Okay, H2 here, and the text will be why you are the best, just like so. We're here now, why you are the best. Okay, so let's go into the browser. Let's check. Good. So we have the white section starting right here. Okay, now why you are the best. So I'll copy a few things from hero. Okay, so now we're doing reasons, the reasons section. Okay, so reasons, maybe we want the height to fill the screen as well, but we're getting rid of this background color because we want it to be white. By default the browser is white. Good, so we have that too. Okay, so reasons why you are the best, it is a bit small, so I'm going to check the font size that was 56. Okay, good. So just like what I did, I'm going to copy this. Okay, I'll copy this, I will paste it here, and this time I'm going to use this. So I'll say the H2 within the reasons div. So this is the reasons div, and this is our H2. So as long as it's within, it will affect it. Okay, we said that the size was 56. Okay, yeah, the font width, the color, everything is on point. So the last thing we're going to do is to say margin top. Maybe margin top should be 120 px also. Yeah, okay, 120 is a bit too much, so 100 should be fine. Okay, maybe I'll do 50. I hope 50 is enough. Okay, good. So the next thing we're going to do is to do these cards. Okay, so as I said, we're going to attack one and then we'll be good to go. Okay, so we are going to go into our card, card one. So for row, the row within reasons. Okay, good. So I'll just copy this selector, I'll paste it here, leave a space, say row. So the row that goes inside reasons, for that one, I want the box sizing to be border box. Okay, so what it means is whichever size it is, whatever is inside, if it starts to go, won't like push it beyond what we defined. Now the default for this is content box. So as the content grows, the size of the parent also grows. Now we don't want the parent to go, we want it to stay how we define it. Okay, so row has a box sizing of border box. Okay, so everything doesn't go beyond. Okay, now for the card, you know what, for every card I'm going to place it within a column, a div called column. So column is what I'll attack in this one. Okay, so I'll copy, I'll paste, I'll say the column within reasons. Okay, so this is what it should look like. Okay, an element with the class of column within an element with an ID of reasons, which is the perfect description right here. Element with a class of column or call is within an element with an ID of reasons. Okay, so for the call, I just want it to have a width of 25%. Okay, because we have 4 cards, so obviously dividing 100% into 4 should give us 25, and that's exactly what we've done here. Okay, now for the height, for now let's just make it 400 pixels. Okay, and for the border, we're going to say 1px, which is the border width, solid, which is the border style, and the border color should be this one right here, pound. Yeah, good. So there you go, this is one of the cards. Also, we want it to have a border radius, so it's a bit rounded. So border radius should be 12px. Okay, good. So we have it rounded like that, and we're good to go. So next thing we want to do is to have some text within. So within the card, you can see that we have some very large numbers here, and it's green. Okay, so yeah, we're going to do exactly that. Within the card we have this number, so we want to say h1, and 01. So the numbers that we have there. And okay, so I'll just copy this. Reasons H1. This should be H1, right? Good. So we're good to go. And font size on this side should be 70. Okay. Font size should be 70 px, so 70 pixels. Okay. And then I think the font family should be Montserrat and sans serif. The reason why for font family you have multiple defined is when this isn't available, this will be available. Everyone has fonts installed on their PC. If you want to check that out, I also have a video on that, just on fonts, how to install fonts in your web project, how to use fonts in your web project. It goes in depth beyond just Google Fonts. Okay. Also for our card. Oh yeah, I made a mistake. Okay, I'll explain. So for the padding on column, I want it to be 0, and for the top and bottom, probably 20 px for the left and right. Okay, now this, most of the styling that I've done here should go on the card. So I'll copy this. I will create my card. Okay, card. Okay, yeah, using this card, and then I am going to copy this, yeah, good. So it should be something like this. Wow. Oh, cards. So it needs an S. Yeah. So sometimes errors might pop up because of spelling mistakes and all that. Okay. So we have our card. Finally, within my card as well, I want to give it some padding. Okay. Because I want the padding to be uniform all around, I'll just use one value, and then I'll have that the way I want it to be. Yeah. So finally, I can define my reasons why I may love this person or why I appreciate this person. Okay. So I'll do lorem 10. Lorem 10 is a shortcut, just 10 words. Gibberish placeholder text. Yeah, so you can see that we have our first card almost done. Yeah, so for our row within reasons, obviously we want it to have a margin top. We want it to be a bit separated from the large heading at the top, this one right here. We want it to have some spacing in between that and the cards. So that's exactly what we've done here. Oh, let me see. Row. Let me see something. Okay. You know what? I'll just okay. I'll just do margin. So for the top and bottom, I want it to be 50. And then the left and right should be 0. Okay, good. So I have my reasons H1. Okay, good. I want it to have a margin bottom of 20 px. Okay, good. Finally, I want the text to be a bit larger because I think it's a bit too small. And font size, okay, yet again, maybe 20 px should be fine. Oh no, this will go onto reasons P. So reasons, the paragraph within the div with the ID of reasons. I'm going to copy font size and paste it here. Okay, because that's what I wanted to do in the beginning. Good. There you go. Okay. So now that we have the first card done, all we have to do is to copy core. Okay. So I'll just duplicate it 3 times. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Good. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. Also, one thing I want to change is card 2, card 3, and card 4. Okay. Good. So now we have our cards and everything looks good. So what is missing? You can see that the cards go down as it moves to the right. So that is the reason why I gave each card a unique class. So yeah, so we're going to target these unique classes, give them some spacing, and then we'll be good to go. So I'll copy this and then I'll paste it here. So I'll say for card 2, because that's where the spacing starts. I want the margin top to be 50 px. Okay, so let me see how that looks. Good. So you can see it has dropped more. Okay, so I'll copy that. I will say for card 3, I want that to become 100. So I want it to be like double. And finally for card 4, it should be 150, because obviously we have increments of 50 as we go on. So 150 should be good. And there you go. So you can see that the styling we wanted has cut across, but that's not just it. Okay, so now let's test this and see. Yeah, so you can see when we click on the button, it scrolls down to this section as we wanted it to. So that's very nice. Yeah, so we have to change the text colors for the text within. So this H1 and P should be green, this green color. Where is it? Yeah. So I'll just copy it quickly, come and paste it here. Color, and then P. Good. So there you go. Finally, I want to add a bit of style, okay, before we move on. Okay, for those who have made it this far. So cards, okay, for cards, I want to say when you hover over cards, that's so cards : hover. So when you hover over it, I want the background color to become purple. Okay, so background color to be purple. Now I can get rid of all these because it's not necessary. Okay, good. So let's see. So when you hover over it, you can see that it's showing. Okay, good. Now that's not just it. I'm going to copy this again. Okay, so when you like reasons, when this property is activated, right, I want the H1 there to have a color of white. Okay, and then also the P as well. So I'll just change this to P, and then that should do the trick. So now when you hover over it, it changes. It becomes this purple card with the text that we want. I think for the P, I want the font family to be Railway. So I'll copy that and I'll paste it inside. Yeah, the font family should be Railway. I think Railway is a very nice font. Yeah, and probably it should be a bit thicker. So font width should be like 500 or 600. Let me do 600 for now. Yeah. So we have this section done as well. We added a bit of styling here, and finally we want to add our footer. Okay, so maybe let's do increments of 80. So 80, 160, and then 240. Okay, good. So it fills up the space that we have. Okay. Yeah. So finally, we want to do our footer, and that should not be difficult at all. So we're done with our reasons. I'll quickly copy this comments, and then I'll paste it here. So reasons. Okay. Reasons section. And we are good to go. One thing I forgot to mention. So these texts that I've left with placeholder text, you can edit it. You can place like meaningful text there before you send it to the person. Obviously, you're not going to leave it this way. You have to populate it with like actual meaningful text. Okay. So yeah. Finally, after taking this off, we're going to do a simple wait, so I found out if you do this, it should create an emoji. So I'm yet to try it out. Okay. Yeah, comment. So footer, just to segregate everything accordingly. So I'll say section with an ID of footer. Okay. Obviously, I have my container. Okay, and then finally, I want to say created with love by Dave Adams, which is me. So yeah, this should be a breeze because all we need is H3 with created with love. I don't know if this will work, but it doesn't seem like it's doing anything. By Dave Adams. Okay. And I'm going to go into my CSS as well. Footer. Okay. I want the background to be the green. Background to be this green, so it's supposed to be background color. Sorry. Okay. And I want it to have some padding on the top and bottom, so that should be 10px. Okay. And then the left and right should be 0. Okay. Good. Or it's supposed, yeah, it's green. Okay. Maybe the padding should be a bit more. Yeah, 20. And then I want my text here to be white, color white, and text align center. So I want the text to be in the center. Okay. Also, I want this to have this as the font family. You can see how it's looking now. It's not looking too good. Okay. Because of the default font style that the browser applies. So I'm going to do this. And yeah, you can see, but we still do not have the emoji. So what I'll do is heart emoji. Let me see if that will work. Emoji. So I'll just pick one of these. I'll copy it. Let me paste it in Visual Studio Code, see if it works. If it does, then yeah. So it did work. So we should see that in the browser as well. And there you go. Okay. So this is a very simple website we've created. I probably would do a few edits and maybe try to make it responsive. So I'll go to reasons. Okay, you said it should have a height of 100 VH. So I'm taking that off. Let's see how it looks like now. Good. This is perfect. Okay. So I took that out because there was some white space underneath, which I did not like. So for that, all I want to say to reasons, have a padding bottom to space out everything. So 40px should probably be enough. Okay, 40px is enough. I'll just make it 100 so I don't do any back and forth. Oh, made a mistake. Close window. Good. Yeah. So looking back at our reference image, we have accomplished what we came to do. Okay, good. So finally, we have one more thing left, I think. Good. So you click, it brings you down. Yeah, and we have one more thing left. What we have left is, so I can say, yeah, so your name can go here. So change name. Okay, good. So there are a lot of things you can change. Notice how it goes in between the tags and everything. Okay, so we're done with that. Okay, so this is our final site, and this site isn't responsive, so you may want to display it to them on a laptop. Otherwise, it's going to be disaster on mobile phones. Okay, so this is what our site looks like. For reference, this was what we were looking at to build the site, and I think we nailed it. So the next thing for you to do is to host it on Netlify and share, or if you have it on your laptop, you can also display it to them locally. So thank you so much for joining this video. I hope you're able to show your loved ones how much you love them, and I'll see you in the next one.